Strong sense of style. Victoria Stepanas from Lithuania. 26.35 for Louise Christie. Just a fraction down from her score with the hoop. And she'll go to ribbon as her final performance. So this is what we've got to come in the second half of Set D. Hope you're enjoying all of the coverage so far from the 39th European Rhythmic Gymnastics Championships. I don't know about you, but I'm having a great time. Such good sport that we're seeing. Farah Fezic of Bosnia and Herzegovina. This is her final performance. To the hugely popular Samba do Brasil by Bellini, we see Farah Fezic of Bosnia and Herzegovina to take some lines from that wonderful piece of music. O coração acelerando, dançando e rembolando sem parar. Heart racing, dancing and dancing non-stop. Her heart must have been racing coming to these championships. And now she's concluded her qualification campaign. 25.4 the score for Victoria Stepanas. That's her best score of these championships. Well done to her. She concludes her campaign. Final performance now coming for Fausta Šostakaitė of Lithuania. Got herself back into play with a 25.75 with the clubs. What can she now do with the ribbon at her 4th European Championships? Fausta Šostakaitė of Lithuania brings to a close her qualification campaign. 18.75 for Farah Fezic.
Please welcome Emilia Petrovic, Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Final performance of these championships for Emilia Bećirović of Bosnia and Herzegovina, the 16-year-old from Tuzla, the third largest city in her country in the northeast. A little share on a sunny day in Baku from Emilia Bećirović of Bosnia and Herzegovina.
She has everything that she needs to be one of the great rhythmic gymnasts from her country. She's still very young, only 16 years old, and this has been an incredible opening performance for her overall.
Well, as Cher said in one of her songs, do you believe? We do believe in Emilia Bećirović. 26.55 for Fausta Šostakajte. Our lone opportunity to see this gymnast in qualification. It is Milena Baldassarri of Italy, only competing here with the ribbon. She made the ribbon final at the World Games and she won the silver medal at the World Championships in 2018.
Je suis pas tout seul, là, tout seul, ça fait déjà ça dans ma tête, et si je comptais, combien on est, pas trop quand même, c'est penser qu'il faut vivre en fait. Si on ne passe pas vite dans la tête, et c'est trop tard, ça s'arrête, c'est là que j'aimerais tout oublier. Du coup, je suis pas forêt uniquement sur une manière de faire. C'est pas ce qu'il nous faut vivre à faire, c'est pas ce qu'il nous faut vivre à faire.
Milena Baldassarri of Italy, the silver medalist at the World Championships in 2018. 21.5 for Emilia Bećirović. Good championships for her. Well, she's always worth the wait, isn't she, with the ribbon, Milena Baldassarri?
always memorable with this apparatus.
Please welcome Daniela Muniz, Israel.
To a gymnast who produced a superb performance with the ribbon. Daniela Muniz of Israel now competing with the club. So much promise in that display from Daniela Muniz of Israel. A couple of losses of the apparatus, which unfortunately might be problematic, but in terms of her overall all-around qualification score, she's doing fine.
One thing to emphasize with her work is her ability to carry massive amounts of difficulty with the clubs. Even if it doesn't always go well, most of the time it does. And that reminds me of another young Israeli gymnast who was about her age 10 years ago, who really made her mark with difficulty. Her name was Lenoy Ashwin. Maybe you've heard of her?
Yes, just every now and then. 30.5 from Elena Baldassari.
Sofia Raffaele, Italy.
That is the third best we've seen so far with the ribbon. So Baldassari's made her mark. Will it be enough to carry her into the final? The world champion with the ribbon, Sofia Raffaele of Italy. It can happen to the very best of them, and she is the very best of them. Sofia Raffaele of Italy, the reigning world champion, not for the first time in qualification, having some issues. The ribbon really was not with her for part of that. When it was with her, it was stunning.
Absolutely. And lest we forget, this is just qualification. This is not a performance that's going to keep her out of the all-around final by any means. She has clearly already done enough, and she will have another crack at these routines during that final.
In terms of the ribbon final, well, that might be a different sort of story.
That's another matter.
She just made it into the hoop final as the 8th strongest in qualification.
And you're right that when things go well in this routine, it's just beautiful to watch.
And she is somebody who will always carry with her a difficulty cushion when things don't go according to plan. It's just that a lot of that has probably been used up and then some on this occasion.
Please welcome
28.55 for Daniela Muniz. That's a very good qualification display from her across 4 pieces. Talking of somebody who's having a good qualification campaign, 2-time European Championship bronze medalist up next. Israel's Adi Katz, a final performance for her, already in the top 10 of the halfway mark. I tell you what, the development in Adi Katz as a gymnast has been so impressive. 25.75 for Sofia Raffaelli, the reigning world champion with the ribbon, will not be the European champion. It will be the discarded score in terms of her all-around prospects. Back to Adi Katz. Where to begin?
Well, a little queen is always welcome with the clubs. Her consistency is marvelous.
On the subject of things that are marvelous, we present Alba Bautista with a really exquisite ribbon routine. She came up with this idea to La Saeta by India Martinez. When she explained it to her coaches, they immediately said, "It's going to work, this." They were right. ¿Quién me presta una escalera para subir al madero? Who lends me a ladder to climb the tree? Alba Bautista, no one lends you a ladder. You're climbing all by yourself, right up the rankings.
Beautiful sequences throughout this routine. Shows the attitude devant position. Working with the ribbon under her leg. Beautiful balance. Everything in this routine just maximalized, and you watch mute in awe.
29.3 for Adi Katz. That's her discarded score. That's not a bad score to lose. To Adriana Blažić of Serbia. And thus brings to a close the qualification campaign of Adriana Blažić of Serbia.
There's no lack of ambition in this routine. What she needs to do, and what I'm sure she'll take away from this, is just needs to refine things a bit. Make sure that all of her catches are secure. Make sure that her balances are held for 1 second. Make sure that her positions are completely correct. But she's on a good way.
29.55 for Alba Bautista. Now, as things stand, that's the 5th best score with the ribbon. And she's currently in 4th place in all-around qualification with a way to go. Paulina Berezina of Spain. A final performance for her in what has been a really good day of qualification. She may perform to flash dance, but she is anything but a flash in the pan. Polina Berezina working at the age of 25, probably the best she's ever worked as a rhythmic gymnast. She's had to reinvent herself with a new code of points, and she says she loves the result of it. Well, I think we all love the result of it, frankly.
She rises to the challenge that she has set herself so well. Excellent dynamic balance to side scale balance. And wonderful lift and amplitude on her turning leaps.
.85 is the score for Andriana Blažić. That's her second best score of the competition. Masha Tosic of Serbia. If you look at what has gone well, what has not gone well for Masha Tosic, at the heart of it is a very promising and interesting young gymnast. 29.05 for Polina Berezina, so that will be the discarded score, but she's in a good shape to be comfortable going to the all-around competition with those sort of numbers that she's carrying with her. Representing San Marino, Matilde Tamagnini. It's a nice sensitive performance to Senza Fiato by Matilde Tamagnini of San Marino, and it brings to a close her qualification campaign. 24.1 for Masha Tosic. Matilde Tamagnini was 60th last time in Tel Aviv. Might make an incremental improvement on that here. Be a positive result for her. Representing Romania, Andreea Verdes, who's got back in the game courtesy of a stellar display with the ribbon. Can she keep this really good momentum going? It's a 7th European Championships for Andreea Verdes. We said after yesterday that she would go away and regroup and get ready for today's competition. She has regrouped extremely well. Now, there was a loss of the apparatus there, but nonetheless she's in a more positive position than she was.
And the loss of the apparatus is not going to affect her score all that much. She did a good job of minimizing the deduction.
Yeah, she didn't have to travel too far at all, did she, to retrieve it. 20.1 for Matilde Tamagnini. Camilla Rossi, the last performer from San Marino. On your way to and from a venue at an event like this, you hear conversations, you have conversations, and people have been going, who's this new gymnast from San Marino? She's really, really interesting. And they're right. 27.3 for Andreea Verdes.
Please welcome.
That has her currently in 13th place in all-around qualification. Still some way to go. A gymnast who is currently 7th in the all-around standings, Annelies Dragan of Romania, and she gets now to perform with clubs where she excels. So the qualification campaign, but certainly not the championships, comes to an end for Annelies Dragan. What a great couple of days.
She continues to come into her own as a rhythmic gymnast.
As does Camilla Rossi, 22.75 for her. Yes, you're quite right about Annelies Dragan. Let's enjoy this again.
Great Britain.
Just technically excellent in the turning leaps. And note that she combines it with a throw, a change of levels.
To a gymnast who really improved her prospects with the clubs. Now performing with the ribbon, Marfa Ekimova of Great Britain. Considering how little we've seen of Marfa Ekimova since the Commonwealth Games last year. A very positive display from the 18-year-old Londoner. Seemed to be a moment there where she had to reset at one of the throws, but there was some very nice pattern work.
It seems like it came up around here where actually the ribbon went completely slack for just a moment. And normally she is so quick. She has such good reflexes and is able to keep the ribbon moving quite well. Dynamic element with rotation, the cartwheel, 2 chaîné turns, captures the stick easily and goes right into another cartwheel. Really good position on the split ring leap too. Creating snakes with the ribbon while doing a back cabriole. And finally, the switch to double stag with her head back. And a lovely arabesque position to end.
Nice, isn't it, to see there the classical arabesque position, which has over the years perhaps become slightly less in favour in rhythmic gymnastics due to changes in the code of points. It used to be very common to see the arabesque pivot used.
Yes, it's true, and for whatever reason in the last few years it has fallen out of favour.
But it is, for all of you who are ballet dancers, as you will know, and you know it well, Blythe, as a ballet dancer, it's such a fundamental part, isn't it, of ballet training, arabesque?
Oh yes, it's one of the first things that you learn, and it's one of the things that you practice over and over. Actually, no matter how competent you become, you never get very far from the fundamentals.
We await the score for Marfa Ekimova. First of all, 28.2 for Annalise Dragan. So actually, on this occasion, clubs will be her discarded score. 26.45
Louise Christian, Great Britain.
for Marfa Ekimova. That has her in 16th place in all-around qualification. And now we finish with Louise Christie of Great Britain. She sports the colours of the nation for whom she won the silver medal at the Commonwealth Games with the ribbon, the best ever performance internationally by a Scottish gymnast. Scotland the brave, Louise Christie the brave. Here she goes. I think you'll enjoy this. That's what made Arena Birmingham roar with delight at the Commonwealth Games to the sounds of the Red Hot Chili Pipers, a Celtic rock band, Louise Christie. And how lovely she actually gets to wear the leotard that didn't arrive in time for the Commonwealth Games. Oh, it's great to see such choreographic variety. Appropriately enough, it reels you in.
And very sound fundamentals in her body difficulties and her apparatus difficulties. On display, changing hands with the stick under her leg. All of these small things showing her mastery of the ribbon.
When she came back to the airport after the Commonwealth Games, Beacon Gymnastics Club met her with a ribbon guard of honour at the airport. They all had their ribbons. They were playing this music, waiting for her to come through.
Fantastic. And the dance steps too marry with the music so beautifully.
Execution-wise, there will be some clear deductions for a few issues here and there. From a performance point of view, it's so memorable. The score for Louise Christie is 23.7. She's 17th in the all-around standings. Let's take a look at the lay of the land. Top with the club, Sofia Raffaelli. Second place, her teammate Alexandra Adjur-Jukulezi. It's 28.2, that is the gatekeeping score at the moment, at the halfway point of club's qualification. Alba Bautista once again finding herself just priced out of the market, but there is some way to go. And we look down the order at all of the athletes that have played their part in interesting and thoroughly enjoyable club's qualification. This is where we stand with the ribbon. Israel 1 and 2. Adi Azia-Katz and Daniela Munitz, very well done to them. Milena Baldassari, who only performed with the ribbon, in third place. And we have two gymnasts tied in 7th position with the ribbon. Polina Berezina and Fanny Pignitsky. And the all-around standings at the moment: Sofia Raffaelli, then Adi Katz, Fanny Pignitsky, Alba Bautista, Polina Berezina are your top 5. These are the gymnasts who are currently in a qualification spot, in contention, but we still have 2 more groups to conclude their campaigns, and in a moment we'll just take stock of who we've still got to see. It is, for example, Lana Sambol at the moment who is in 24th position. But we are going to be looking soon at Boriana Kalane in the next group, second best in qualification at the halfway mark. We'll also be looking at Stiliana Nikolova. I think she might possibly be in contention for a place in the all-around final, considering she was top at the halfway mark. We'll see Margarita Kolosov, who was 13th halfway, Daria Varfolomeev, who was 6th halfway, Polina Karika 14th halfway, Victoria Onoprienko 4th halfway, and then in the final set of gymnasts we'll have Evelina Orfanu 26th halfway, Rita Araujo 29th halfway, Mael Mile 18th halfway, Elen Karbonov 20th at the halfway point, Zora Agamirova 5th at the halfway point, Yekaterina Vedenyeva 12th at the halfway point, and Panayota Litra 10th at the halfway point. So we've got a lot still to come in the qualification process. All of that brings us to the end of this session, and we'll resume in around 50 minutes time for the second half.